Welcome to Percolating Change, a podcast where we brew better outcomes one sip at a time. I'm Alicia James, and today we are talking change doesn't fail because of people, it fails because of assumptions, with Sam Akinola, who is a transformation strategist and change leader and founder of ZE Global Solutions in the UAE and Sam Zoe Solutions in the UK. Sam Akinola is also an award-winning change leader with over a decade of experience helping organizations navigate complex transformations across the public sector, financial services, utilities, and retail. He has led enterprise-wide initiatives at institutions like the Bank of England, Allied Irish and the Home Office. I'm delighted to have Sam with me here today. In the next 15 minutes, we will cover why change doesn't fail because of people, it fails because of assumptions. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you, and thanks for
Sam,
having me.
you're welcome. Sam, give us your one sentence hook to set the table.
Yeah, thank you. See, in my perspective, everyone says change fails because people resist. I I beg to differ. You see, because I believe that the hidden risk is something else entirely. It's assumptions. If you don't know what's changing, you're not leading. You're guessing.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I that makes logical sense to me, Sam. Who's this for then? So, who would your target audience be?
So, transformation leaders, project teams, change professionals navigating high stakes delivery, and right now, with velocity increasing and complexity rising, you see, assumptions are quietly derailing outcomes, and we need to name it.
Mhm, mm. Could you provide a couple of core insights and short examples that will demonstrate to our viewers and listeners?
Sure. Um, Requirements are actually the architect of trust. And without them, like I said earlier on, change leaders are flying blind. And a major platform migration with a top tier bank, the delivery team actually lacked foundational clarity. I had to then lead a stakeholder mapping exercise to surface gaps, co created a requirement framework, and shifted the team from confusion to cohesion.
Mhm. All right, that makes sense. How did you do that? What would be your second insight around that?
So, again, from experience, resistance is often not just a symptom of missing clarity. Like I
Mm,
said, so a lot of times people want you have leaders trying to push for change but don't want to be involved in the process. But you see, it's not a bottom to top approach; it's a top to bottom approach. Um, for instance, in a high stake agile rollout I was involved in, skepticism wasn't resistant; it was all about rule confusion. But once we were able to clarify the impact and build like communities of practice, skeptics actually became champions. So it's
mm,
important that people understand that the role of change doesn't really sit with change managers or change leaders, but involves everyone from top to bottom, like I said earlier. Everyone is involved in change.
yeah. So that seems to be some of the things that people will stumble on or could be easily fixed. Is that what your view is? So what
That's,
would some of the things that people stumble on?
that's right.
Because, yeah, all right. So it's in terms of clarity and providing clarity, and in terms of what you've just said, like change managers, change leaders, we are not the people that actually implement the change. We help to
Yeah.
facilitate it.
Yes.
So how if someone was to join tomorrow, land, parachuted in on a project, what are one of the three things that people can do to provide clarity, would you say?
But for me, I always say requirements, clear requirements are the bread and butter of any given project. So,
Mm,
number one, I would say is audit your requirements, highlight what's missing, not just what's
mm,
documented. Then number two,
mhm,
you create what we call a known versus unknown. Map all of these things out to give your team visibility. So what do we know at this point in time? And what are the things that are unknown? And let's take it from there. And then number three, test your one sentence. Why?
mm.
You see, with stakeholders, if they can't repeat it, then you don't have clarity yet. As long
Yeah.
as they can, as once they start repeating it, it means they understand what the why is, and that's why we need to
Yeah,
test it.
I absolutely agree with that. Having that one sentence statement or a vision that everyone understands and provides that clarity in what we're trying to achieve is so important, because
Absolutely.
it's communication, isn't it? It's the way we
Yeah.
all hear
Yeah.
things differently. It's the same message, but we receive it differently and then we interpret it differently. And it's really worth spending time to clarify what that one sentence, as you've said, or that vision statement, that what are we trying to achieve? And we're all singing from the same song sheet. And so we're all
Ab-
focused.
Absolutely.
Um, Thank you. I love all of this. What do you think if there was one thing you could do differently, Sam, what would you do next time
Ooh,
that might
I
be
would,
different to how?
I've always learned this, and I've learned it the hard way. And what I would say is, if I'm going to redo anything, you know, or if I'm going to do something differently, I would have to engage stakeholders earlier on in the process to basically co-create requirements rather than trying to fill the gaps solo. You see, because clarity is actually shared responsibility.
Definitely, definitely. This co-creation is so important. We cannot afford uh, the time it takes to design in isolation and then suggest to the impacted people, the people we want to consume what we've built, that this is it. We need to co create, and that means doing it together, clarifying our understanding so that we have that shared understanding of what it is we're actually giving to a business area to utilize.
Yes.
I like that. What do you think? We're coming nearly to the end, actually, Sam. What
Ooh,
do you think
that
would
went by so
be?
fast.
What's that?
That went by so fast.
It did. It did go by quickly. What do you think is something that we should watch within the next 6 to 12 months, possibly in this context, or something else that resonates with you?
I think it's very obvious. The truth is pretty obvious right now. It's the rise of artificial intelligence (AI) and the use of AI in change delivery. AI is almost everywhere around us right now, and even though it promises speed, but without clear requirements, it risks amplifying chaos instead of solving it. So again, requirement is still key, irrespective of the new change coming on board. Actually, we're living in that change right now.
Hmm. So, what would be your recommendation then? So, if we're using AI to support us in delivering a particular task activity, clarifying what the requirements are, how do you have any, short tips to support that statement in terms of how people would go about using AI to help them?
Just like we have tools right now, we're using a tool to communicate. AI, artificial intelligence, whatever platform or tool you might have for, for accessing artificial intelligence AI today, you must always remember it's just a tool. It doesn't take the obvious away, which is the ability to communicate, which is very key in the field of change management and
Yes,
ensuring that requirements, the why, is very obvious. So
yes.
AI is just a tool that helps us amplify. It's like a microphone; it amplifies your voice, and that's what the artificial intelligence will do: is to amplify whatever we want it to do for us.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a tool. As you've
Yes.
said it
Yeah.
succinctly, it's a tool. It doesn't have the human element, not yet anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a tool and we need to use it accordingly and wisely, understand its limitations and, you know, invest in what we can to make sure that we provide the clarity that we can for our users or business areas. I'm always saying the word users. I'm in change management land. Is there is there a myth? The final question here is there a myth you'd like to bust around this?
Yeah. So change fails because people resist. The truth
Mm,
is, like I said, I've often said, change fails because assumptions go unchallenged.
mm, yeah. Assumptions go unchallenged. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I I I agree with that so much. It's like sometimes reading let's say you're reading the business case or you're reading the project plan or you're reading the change plan, it's really good as a new person coming in or even the first time you're taking up that particular artifact to ask questions to clarify that I, Alicia, am on the same page and I'm understanding the intent. I'm not assuming.
Yeah.
Because as you have said, assumptions are what will break or fail
Yes.
or fail us. Yeah. So I like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And lastly, I'll say this: yeah, a lot of times people think we call them stakeholders. Why do we call them stakeholders? So how could they resist? A stakeholder is one who has taken the project. So if you're working in an organization, that's where you get your bread and butter from. So I want it to prosper, isn't it? But the only reason why people will resist is because there's a lack of understanding. And this is where we come in to help to shine that light. And this is we try to shine a light to erase those assumptions. I'll say this: I've been in a project whereby I had to do a survey with senior leaders, among five top senior leaders, and they all had different understanding, explanation of what the change was all about. And then I knew there was a problem. So it's important that you know we are, we get rid of ambiguity earlier on in the
Mm.
project.
Yeah, it's so important, and I don't think there's anything wrong in that. It's taking the time to actually clarify what it is that we are
Yes,
all, particularly with the senior leaders, that we're
yes,
all in alignment.
yeah,
Taking the time up front to workshop what that looks like,
yes,
so
yes,
that we'll save time, rather than the CEO thinks one thing, the CTO thinks one thing, another sponsor thinks one thing, and yes, and never the three will meet. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to have you on today's show, Sam. How can people get hold of you?
Well, you could check me out on LinkedIn. Sam Akinola is the name. Find me on LinkedIn, and you definitely see me there. Or you could also check my website, which is www.sglobalsolutions.com or www.samzoesolutions.co.uk.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. And I'm sure our listeners have enjoyed today's show. If you have enjoyed today's show, please like and subscribe and check the playlist for more short episodes coming up again soon. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you, Alicia.